Welcome back to the show. This is the view from the precipice, and here we are again in my apartment, talking about things that I've written and ideas that I've had. Now, what we've got for you today doesn't have quite the structure of other things that we've done. It's a tiny bit more improvisational. So I've been told that maybe I could provide more things to show you that I can do. So the PR agency that I employ have said, why don't you try like a Dr. Phil style not self-help, but helping people to understand their lives better, because you have a good steer on the way that people work. Being a writer of characters is actually a good way of understanding people. It shows if you're good at it. I mean, if you're bad, there's no helping you, but if you're a good writer, it suggests an understanding of the way that people work. So this format, I think we're going to describe as, if we have to give it a title, and I suppose we will give it a title, like the name of the video that you are currently watching, very meta. Things you haven't thought of before. Not you, but what we're going to do is pretend that these three people are normal people, like not actors, normal people, and each one is going to be a normal person for a little bit of time with a problem, and we are going to help them with their problem. We're going to find maybe a solution to their problem, because one of the things that you see on television today in particular is a lot of people with problems and no solutions. Like nobody ever says, you should do that. Mostly what happens is they get clapped on and off the stage, patted on the back, whatever their problem is, and told it's not their fault. So maybe this will be different, but maybe it won't be, and maybe that's the right way of doing things. But I think, if we're honest, we know it isn't. Okay, so things you haven't thought of before. Not everything I do has to be in the format of a film or a TV show. This is a bit like, kind of repeating myself. Formats and programming are changing rapidly, and a large swathe of it centers around self-help. People don't know what they are doing by and large, they are winging it. There's also people who might be considered to be successful who suffer from things like imposter syndrome. This show brings a bit of fun to proceedings as people arrive with their problems, and a panel of creatives come up with out-of-the-box solutions. So this is solutions or explanations for the way they are feeling. Let's do some hypothetical case studies. So I'm going to give each of you a role, and I'm going to explain that role, and then you are going to be that person and maybe go into more depth about what your issues are. And the remaining three of us, so most of the time you'll be in the three and not the one, but I'm not doing one, so 2/3 of the time you'll be in the three and not the one, and 1/3 of the time you will be the one.
Okay.
Right? And then we will say, oh, you should do that. Have you thought of it? Here's something you haven't thought of before. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And then that's the format.
Therapy hot seating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so here's a thing you haven't thought of before, because they wouldn't have thought of it, because if they had, they wouldn't have the problem anymore. We'll start with you. Mm-hmm. Laura, you're playing Laura.
Okay.
Is a successful businesswoman in her late 30s. She is single and childless. She has enjoyed steady promotions, but suffers from imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so plenty of money.
Okay.
Great.
Great.
Successful businesswoman.
Yeah.
Doesn't say if it's her own. But I don't want to help you too much.
No, that's fine.
But it doesn't say if it's her own business. It could be her own business, or she could just be high up in a large company. Single and childless. Right, that might be the problem. But it might. You can go somewhere else, but that might be the problem because we have to identify a problem.
Mm-hmm.
She has enjoyed steady promotions. That's not a problem.
No, that's great.
That wouldn't be a problem.
Money sounds great too.
Suffers from imposter syndrome. Another problem, isn't it?
Mm.
Okay. So, are you ready to? Would you be ready to inhabit Laura?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
And ask for, and I imagine ask for some kind of help.
Okay.
Because you are here, Laura,
Yes, I am. Yeah.
and try and help her, like
Okay.
really.
Okay.
Cool.
Are we helping her as our characters, or are we helping her as ourselves?
It's a good question, but I think at the moment, as yourself,
Okay.
As ourselves. Okay.
because it might, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Hello, welcome, Laura.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hi,
guys.
Laura.
I hear, I hear that you're a successful businesswoman.
Yeah, I suppose on paper that's what it looks like.
Really? How much paper?
A pretty hefty wad, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it's been good. It's been good. I'm a partner in a law firm, and I do enjoy my work. I
Senior partner.
seninya partner. I am,
Wow.
yeah, actually the youngest.
How old are you now?
Congratulations.
Late 30s.
30,
Thank you, by the way.
39.
Yeah, 39.
Yeah, okay.
I'd just
That's
say
not
that.
bad for a senior partner.
So yeah, that's all been great. I am single. I'm not married. I have never been married, and I don't have any children. And I feel like what is the success for? You know, I feel like I've done these things. I say success, that sounds stupid coming out of my mouth. I've done these things that, anyone might be proud of. I suppose I should be proud of, and yet there's this sort of hole, I suppose.
Well, you're here, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that suggests there's a hole.
Yeah.
Is it missing out? Is it?
Maybe I think I am. I feel like I am missing out. A lot of my friends are married, do have children, and I don't. And I don't know. I don't feel great about it, and I don't know how to either just feel better about it, or meet that someone. But I can't. I don't have time to meet that someone. It's getting too late to have children.
Maybe not. I mean, let's.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never
It is
do.
2022.
Why can't you find a man?
A lot of it's to do with not having enough time with the job that I do.
Yeah, but if you're a senior partner, I mean, by that point you're starting to be more in
Delegate.
control.
Yeah.
I'm concerned that what you're doing is putting one thing in front of the other.
Right.
When you're promoted to that level,
Yeah.
you can say, no, I'm not going to take that on because I need more time to do something else. You can be more in control of things. And I
Yeah.
think from what I've heard, and it is brief, but I'm usually quite quick on these things.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, you're evading the life that you could have.
Do you think?
I think time it's an excuse. It's a convenient excuse.
Look, it might be. Maybe I'm a bit scared, if anything. I don't
Right,
know.
now we're getting somewhere. She's scared.
Okay.
Well, here's something you might not have thought of before. What you're describing to me is a void in your life, a gap of something that's missing.
Yeah.
And you think that gap should be filled with marriage and children. But have you tried filling your hole with something else?
What?
Like,
What that?
oh, I don't know. You tried wine? You could fill the hole with wine?
I do. I drink wine. I would say it doesn't.
How much wine?
couple of glasses a night just to unwind.
A cat? Have you tried getting a cat?
I have no. I'm allergic, but a dog maybe.
I mean, get a dog.
Yeah.
There's someone who is a cat fan or a dog fan, and there is someone who breeds cats, someone who breeds dogs, someone who rescues dogs,
Right.
someone who drinks wine, someone who drinks a lot of wine, someone who tastes wine, is a connoisseur of wine. So you can take this whole and fill it with hobbies, pastimes, and other activities.
Right, okay. And I suppose actually if I start doing activities, who knows who I might meet? I don't know.
Right.
Is that
could be how you meet people.
Okay, right. That's joining up. I thought it was terrible for a moment, but that's starting to.
Is that where you were going with that?
Well,
I don't know what are fun activities. I've been out of the loop for so long, like career driven and.
Okay, I think your job is boring you, and that's why you feel like you need a man.
I think you're projecting because I think being a lawyer would bore you.
It would bore me, yeah.
I quite enjoy the work.
You enjoy the work?
But maybe
Okay.
maybe I'm just telling myself that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't actually
Sometimes.
enjoy it as much as.
Sometimes. I think you do. I'm prepared to believe that you do enjoy it, but I think you're doing too much of it. Definitely. Because at this point, senior partner, 39. When are you 40?
Couple of months.
Couple of months. 40. So
God, that's quick.
you
Couple of months.
yeah. Well, I mean, well, when you get to that age too, so quick. So when you hit 40, I'm just thinking about it.
What are you thinking?
Well, like
I think Andrew's trauma.
you've got
same
friends.
Trauma.
You've got friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you had friends.
I do have friends.
Would anybody throw you a birthday party, or would you have to sort your own one out?
I haven't really thought about it. I guess they all
In
have a lot on their
in
plate.
2 months, you haven't thought about your 40th birthday party.
If anything, I've been trying to avoid thinking about it. But
Oh,
my
well,
friends are also very busy people, so I imagine that they might.
If
not
you
have to.
Right, so you have to arrange your own birthday party.
Yeah.
I know it's painful, but I think what we're doing here is we're kind of digging into the problem. You know,
Okay.
you need a man. You say you don't have time. We've already established that you do have time. You're just choosing not to use it. We've got to the point, in a roundabout way, where you've said you need to do more activities so that you can meet someone. And you're like, well, what activities? Okay, well, there's the internet for that. There's loads of books and things. Isn't there? Because you can go, what book can I do?
Book club.
well,
A
I mean,
book club.
I want to take issue with one thing, because who says that she needs a man?
I think Laura says that. I think Laura's saying it with her eyes, and I think she's saying it with her heart.
But I think there's space in this world for drunk 40-year-old senior partners.
Drunk.
Well, there's certainly a lot of them,
Couple of glasses
and we
a night.
wouldn't notice another one. That's for sure. But I'm just saying, at this point, you should look, unless you've been reckless, and I don't think you have because you've been by yourself. You should have loads of money in the bank. So you need to be taking you need to be getting that workload off, and you need to be looking for a man, because as you know, tick tock, and whatever standards you had in the past, you know.
Or what about
lower
like
standards.
IVF or adoption? Would you consider starting a family as a single mum?
I have considered it.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea.
Okay.
Your parents wouldn't want you to do that. Kind of parents that would demand that you be a lawyer, because that's usually where it comes from. And did you want to be a lawyer, or was it like pushed on you?
My father was a lawyer.
Yeah.
So
They don't want you to be a single mother.
do they not?
They're not happy because, look, let's be honest.
Maybe they just want grandkids more than anything.
That's all they want, right?
It's
That's
all
they
the
want.
parent
They do,
wants, yeah.
but in
But not on my
a
own.
stable way. You're
Well,
40.
I think I'm quite stable.
Oh yeah, you're
You've got
stable.
a lot of money, yeah.
You're stable, but
I've always supported myself.
And your cats?
she's allergic
It's
to cats.
allergic.
I don't
She's allergic to cats.
have cats.
But she does-
I'm not a drunk. I
She
think.
drinks wine.
A couple of glasses.
And
a night.
statistically, women live longer who are single.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's good.
That's true.
So,
Honestly, that's the first thing that's made me feel better.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that you guys aren't helping. It's just
I think girl to girl.
Yeah,
You know, we kind of get it.
yeah,
And you don't need to look after anyone except for your child. If you do decide to have a child, you don't have to look after a husband. You don't have to
That's
answer
true.
to anyone. You're your own woman. You're free.
I could do it.
I think you could.
Yeah, it's something to consider. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's terrible advice.
Oh,
I don't think Andrew knows what he's talking about.
why would that be terrible advice? I could definitely do it. I'm not a drunk.
Are we whispering now?
It seems that that is the case.
Okay, Laura. Well, thank you.
I hope that solves your
Thank
issue.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Right.
You're so
That's
welcome.
That's interesting. Now you can be yourself again.
Okay.
Now, what was good about that is I do think we gave her some things that she hadn't thought of before.
Mm.